started via the river overlook trail, probably less than 5 miles, but it felt like more. Shelby's heart raced, the muscles in her calves quivered, and sweat trickled down her neck. She realized, with a start, that she was the only one looking at the view. Glancing up, she at first thought she must be dreaming, that she would wake to find herself at home, in bed, and safe. She closed her eyes and attempted to calm her heart rate. When she opened them, if anything, the scene had become more bizarre. What should have been a dark blue sky was now streaked with shafts of green, pink, purple, and red, the colors of the rainbow, but more sinister. The lights of the aurora borealis swirled across the Texas sky. Northern Lights? Max pulled off his ball cap and wiped the sweat from his brow. Here?
I've never seen anything like it,
Bianca said, her voice filled with awe. She tipped her head back and stared straight up, her mouth partially open in surprise. Curtains of predominantly red arcs brightened the sky, reflecting off every rock, tree, and cactus. Shelby had asked someone for the time less than a mile back, and Max had said it was 8 p.m. The sun had set, and the sky was beginning to turn dusky. She'd picked up her pace, wanting to make it back to the truck before complete darkness fell. But now the sky was unnaturally bright. "This shouldn't be visible here," she murmured. "I've read about it, but I've never seen it." Patrick leaned against a boulder and continued to stare at the sky. Max watched Shelby. She glanced at Max and shook her head. "We need to get back. Now." When he only cocked his head, she said, "I need to check on Carter." "Can you call him?" She pulled her cell phone from her pocket and pressed Carter's number under recent calls. As she suspected, the call wouldn't go through. Bianca and Patrick had taken out their phones as well and were using them to take pictures of the northern lights. Max stepped closer to Shelby. "What's wrong?" "The call won't go through. I need to get home, Max. I need to be there in case he has a problem." "All right. Let's double time it." Bianca had been turning in a circle, photographing the celestial event. She was a freelance graphic designer and sold many of her photos on the web. Finally tearing her gaze from the sky, she asked, "Is this a problem?" "Yes, it is." Shelby worked to keep the panic from her voice. Maybe she was misremembering her research. Possibly she was overreacting. The aurora continued to bathe them in its unnatural light, even tinting their skin the color of a red rose. Patrick exchanged a questioning look with Max, who was readjusting the weight of his backpack. "The lady says we need to hurry. Let's go." It was a testament to their friendship that everyone held their questions. The group turned back toward the trail, and that was when they heard the whine of a jet engine, followed by a thunderous crash. To the southeast, black smoke rose to meet the swirling lights of the borealis. Bianca gasped. Max and Patrick stood frozen, and Shelby realized that the nightmare she feared was actually happening. Each member of the group instinctively stepped closer together.
"What was that?"
Bianca wiped at her hair, and Shelby noticed that her friend's hands were shaking.
"Patrick, what was that? Did we actually just see a plane crash?"
Before Patrick could respond, they heard the whine of another plane, this one smaller, probably a single engine, and headed south. As they watched, another dot approached, and then the planes collided. They tumbled to the ground as more smoke filled the sky. "None of those planes were military," Patrick said.
"Those people, are they all dead?"
Bianca backed up against a tree and slid to the ground.
"Are you telling me? Did 3 entire planes of people just die right in front of our eyes?"
"I'm fairly certain the first was a domestic flight, probably headed to the regional airport." Patrick's tone was grim, hardened, the voice of a soldier assessing